Ladies and gentlemen, this is Steve Eyes. You're on the Eyes is Watching channel. Okay, people, another obvious psyop just dropped. James O'Keefe said a few weeks ago he was going to expose the real list behind Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking ring. I mean, he was hyping it up like it was going to be the biggest scandal in American history. Said his life was on the line for this. Told us to prepare for the mind-blowing truth. I'm sure you've seen the video. Dramatic stuff. All while flashing the good old Freemason hand sign the whole time. The whole announcement video, he's doing this hand sign saying his life is at risk. He's about to give us the biggest bombshell info the world has ever seen. So those of us that are awake knew it was going to be a nothing burger and a distraction, and well, we are absolutely right. Throwing up the Satanic Temple's gang sign doesn't exactly scream trustworthy. You know, the exact same gesture Trump and Elon Musk love to flash every time. Elon Musk actually just recently stood on a checkerboard floor live on Fox News, warning us that the sun will wipe out all life on Earth soon. It's always the same theater, doomsday predictions, mentioning a psyop while doing an esoteric hand gesture, and promises that this time the truth will finally come out. Remember that the truth drop was supposed to be done by none other than Pam Bondi. Yeah, whatever happened to that one? Trump's handpicked attorney general and longtime loyalist. The same Pam Bondi who oversaw Epstein's sweetheart deal in Florida when she was attorney general from 2011 to 2019. The same Pam Bondi whose office got complaints in 2016 about Epstein's abuse of minors and did nothing. That's right, the same Bondi who received a political donation from Epstein's attorney. Clearly some conflict of interest going on here that everyone loves to ignore. She later claimed her office acted appropriately. Sure it did. Just like Pfizer acted appropriately when Bondi defended them in court. You heard that right. The same Pam Bondi who is seen right here throwing up the Jay-Z Rockefeller diamond, aka Freemason Satanic Temple sign. I'm sure that's just a coincidence too, right? And now we're supposed to believe she's leading the charge to expose Epstein's network. Come on now. It's more than likely Trump just put Bondi in charge to make sure the files never get released because yes, as many think, Trump is on the list. He was on the plane, he was on the island, and now he has one of the most loyal fixers managing the evidence. She's not there to deliver justice, she's there to protect him. And if she can't bury it, she'll delay it long enough for it to disappear, which it looks like might have happened. Which brings us to the breaking news here. Check this post out. James Comer now says he doesn't believe Pam Bondi or FBI Director Kash Patel even have the Epstein files. They're probably destroyed, he said. Oh, would you look at that? Just like I said with the JFK files, okay? They delay them long enough to dump in enough distractions and noise, and people will find whatever they want to see in them, which will confirm the biases they already had. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the Epstein files show extraterrestrials were involved in the Epstein case. Because we know that's going to happen. Guaranteed when they drop the documents, it's going to have endless theories as to who Epstein was working for, when it could have just been one page. Think about that. After all the binder waving and the photo ops as seen here, all of the empty promises, there might not even be files left to release. And what do we get instead? Well, James O'Keefe in full theater mode dropping his big blowout bombshell, as seen here, a secret recording of a royal family advisor saying Prince Andrew was lying about Epstein. Oh, wow. So brave, James. Yeah, I'm sure your life is on the line for that one. Didn't know Prince Andrew was shady. Groundbreaking stuff. And now we get part 2 of this epic nothing burger. James O'Keefe went dark for 48 hours, posted dramatic videos proclaiming his love for life and warning that he was in existential danger, only to reemerge with his second bombshell. And what is it? A covert recording of Pam Bondi, saying there are tens of thousands of videos of little kids connected to Epstein to a stranger in a DC restaurant. Sounds big, right? Big deal. Until you realize it's literally the same thing she said a few days later, publicly. So the big reveal was just a rehash of her own press statement. That's not an expose. That's damage control. It's almost like the heat was getting too intense and O'Keefe had to drop something about Pam Bondi just to cool the outrage because people were expecting it. Let's be clear here. When he said he had info to drop, a lot of people thought he was about to expose Pam Bondi. But this is just weak sauce right here, okay? Meanwhile, the entire point of the Epstein operation was that he was a Mossad asset gathering blackmail on politicians and celebrities to serve Israel's interests, okay? Very clear, straight up. And all that gets buried under a pile of royal gossip, drama bullshit, and mid-tier misdirection. And while Bondi still insists the FBI is reviewing thousands of hours of footage, the timeline just magically disappears. There's always an excuse. The files aren't ready, the victims need protection, the process takes time, months go by, and then Virginia Giuffre kills herself, in quotes. Media reports claim evidence may have been destroyed, and we're left still asking, where the hell are the documents and what is taking so long? The answer, of course, is that it's never going to come. This is a sleight of hand act, classic controlled opposition. They want to keep the base hooked on hopium, keep the truth seekers distracted with truth drops, in quotes. Pretend the house is being cleaned while more swamp creatures get added. Have you not been paying attention for the past 8 years or so? If you're still waiting for justice, you're not paying any attention. Now, originally, many people were saying James O'Keefe was going to drop a major bombshell about Pam Bondi being a gatekeeper of the whole thing, which did give me some hope, but of course not. Because I know what James O'Keefe and Project Veritas was all about, okay? Classic psyops and misdirection, keeping the virus lie alive. Big bombshell discovery. The COVID virus was from a Wuhan lab. I mean, this is the kind of ish we see from James O'Keefe. So what did you expect? Let's talk about this. This is a major WTF. Alex Jones, the godfather of controlled opposition, posts a bold claim here. Will James O'Keefe's expose reveal that Attorney General Pam Bondi is the Trump admin official responsible for covering up the Epstein files? Pretty direct, and I was shocked to see Alex Jones posted this. The tweet went viral, of course, thousands of shares, millions of views, and then suddenly he deleted it. Why? How crazy is that? He posted this and then deleted the tweet. Did he suddenly doubt the accuracy of what he said, or was he told to take it down? Because right after that, O'Keefe releases his big bombshell. And it's not about Bondi, Mossad, or the Epstein client list. It was just some BS about Prince Andrew, something we all knew for years. Another royal family diversion that changes nothing. Like we didn't already know he was a compromised creep. And here's the thing. People like Alex and people like O'Keefe, they don't just drop real names like Pam Bondi then walk it back because it's unconfirmed. They're not journalists. They're narrative managers. Their job is to bait truth seekers, control the narrative, then derail the conversation right before it hits the real target. In this case, the target being Epstein connected to Mossad, an Israeli operation to blackmail politicians in our government. Full stop. That target is the client list with names like Trump, Clinton, Gates, and the people actually running the global blackmail machine. But once O'Keefe dropped that nothing burger on the royal family, everyone who was posting about Pam Bondi's role as Trump's damage control agent suddenly went silent, Alex Jones included. So ask yourself this, if it was fake, why not double down and expose the lie? Why not say Pam Bondi's clean? Here's the proof. Instead, they're just deleted tweets and then zero clarification. And then they come out with something we already knew. She was recorded on secret video saying there's tens of thousands of hours of footage. Yeah, and that's not journalism. That's panic, okay? This is looking like panic mode for the demons in control. That's controlled opposition scrambling to get back in line because maybe Alex was testing the water here. Or maybe he got the green light to leak it until someone higher up told him, wait, shut it down, Alex, in his earpiece saying, hey, hold on, what are you doing? Delete this tweet right away. Either way, this isn't just a cover-up, it's a coordinated distraction campaign. They're managing the narrative and making sure the only thing left from this Epstein scandal is some already known royal gossip. So no, Alex deleting that tweet doesn't mean that the Bondi story was false. It means it was too real to allow on the stage. And that tells you everything you need to know. Did Trump really put her in charge strictly to manage those files and make sure they never see the light of day? Because that's what it's looking like.
No, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement, but I'll...
Do you really have to go through all 10,000 hours to say something about it? Who was in it? What is happening exactly? This is total BS, and the stalling lets us know there's something more going on here. Clint Russell said it well. James O'Keefe went dark for 48 hours, only to pop up saying Prince Andrew was a pedo. Pam Bondi has the Epstein tapes. That's so well said. We waited that long for that? Come on now, James O'Keefe. He better drop another bombshell, but guaranteed it's going to be some BS. A classic misdirection, and we've been seeing this for years now. And just how evil is all this stuff? Well, the P. Diddy parties were satanic in nature, and I've never heard anything like it. I can't believe it. Every time I look into this stuff, it boggles the mind. Every time you think you've seen it all, you read a headline and go, oh, hell no. This is otherworldly evil right here. For example, take a look at this interview from Day 26, one of the R&B bands Diddy signed. They were doing an interview with DJ Vlad. You know who that is, people. Of course, Ukrainian Jew that loves to infiltrate the black community and corrupt an entire generation of kids. That's what he was put there to do. Well, one group member, Q, broke down in tears describing the trauma he endured dealing with Diddy. He said he received a chilling email either from Diddy or Diddy's former head of security, Roger Bonds, that described human sacrifice. And the things he's seen behind the scenes, when he started describing this to Vlad, he broke down in tears. He was so disturbed, he ran to doctors, told his family, and even feared for his life. He said grown men in the room cried reading that email and seeing what was in the message. When asked for specifics, Q wouldn't reveal them, but said it felt like some sacrificial stuff was going on. Not just bad vibes, people, like literal human sacrifice going on behind the scenes here. So this isn't just freak-offs with them doing some drug-fueled orgy stuff, okay? This is next-level evil. Q then blamed everyone in Diddy's inner circle, calling them minions who either enabled him or turned on him when they couldn't match his power. He ended up wandering the streets after being diagnosed with schizophrenia, mentally broken from what he saw when he was signed to Diddy. When he was describing this on an interview, a whole room full of grown-ass men started crying. I mean, how satanic and perverted does this man have to be? And what did they see that is so bad that when even describing it, they all break down in tears? These are grown men on video. All of them started crying when talking about what happened with Diddy. I mean, this is just mind-blowing stuff. A separate report here, Jonathan Audie, a former porn star, was arrested in 2018 after storming Trump's Doral resort, waving a flag and yelling about the president before engaging in a shootout with police. What came out afterward is even darker. Audie told police that he had been kept as a sex slave by Sean Diddy Combs. He claimed Diddy would masturbate and instruct him what to do with his then wife Cassie Ventura. Audie later signed a non-disclosure agreement with Diddy in exchange for $5 million, which aligned with the timing of his divorce, a suspicious cash surge, and the purchase of multiple properties, all mortgage-free. And of course, it seems like he just broke that non-disclosure agreement by saying this. His ex-wife confirmed the NDA and said he met Diddy at a party on Star Island in Miami. Audie's life spiraled after that. He feared he was being followed, said his life was in danger, and warned family members in case he was killed. He claimed the settlement silenced him. Prosecutors say Sean P. Diddy Combs kept video evidence of sex acts and hosted freak-offs, drug-fueled orgies involving sex workers. Afterwards, some victims were hooked up to IVs to recover from the trauma. I mean, how sick is that stuff? So from the R&B group Day 26 to Audie over here, both of them seem to have went crazy after, suffering serious neurological problems, schizophrenia, delusions. Were they hit with a direct energy weapons ordered by the same Epstein team? Because it seems like that's what's happening here. These aren't just one-off stories. I mean, we see this pattern happening of abuse, mind-warping trauma, and ritualistic exploitation, child trafficking, and human sacrifice. Not saying human sacrifice in a metaphorical sense here. I mean, like literally sacrificing humans. And they're talking about it nonchalantly in emails. Q broke down when describing the email, saying Diddy was laughing about it.
I don't understand why someone would sit down and think about hurting someone. I don't know. Or laugh about it after they do it, you know. Like, I don't get it. That's why I said none of them are innocent.
This is what broke his mind. And these are the same people we're told are just entertainers and royalty. These are the people linked to Epstein, to the same circles protected by narrative managers like Pam Bondi. Still think this is about celebrity gossip? There's a lot more to the depravity here. This is not politics. This is not even just government corruption. This is not left or right, conservative versus liberal. This is a battle between good and evil. This is spiritual warfare. And as more eyes are on this, you better believe something major is going to happen to get us talking about something else. It's always the same thing. Distractions galore, people. Think about the timing between India versus Pakistan. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't tension before this, but just the timing of when shit pops off. I mean, you got to be wondering how this can happen right now. Western intelligence had Mossad and CIA, which is, the same thing, had their hands in the Kashmir conflict for decades. From training jihadist groups during the Cold War to backing Pakistan's covert ops, these agencies have turned a border dispute into a global tinderbox. So now an India versus Pakistan war can somehow trigger world war. So when a new terror attack hits a tourist site and suddenly India's launching missiles while Pakistan threatens nukes, you really think that's just about bad timing? Or is this all a hoax, a distraction that the media can pick up on and then talk about it 24/7? And now you got former CIA analysts like Larry Johnson getting airtime saying this is all happening because of BRICS. BRICS is getting too powerful, or because India's a little too close with Iran, apparently. Look, I'm not saying that angle's totally wrong, but when a former spy goes on a show like Redacted and gives you surface level geopolitical info right here, at the same time a global child trafficking ring is getting exposed, I mean, I'm going to question that, okay? There's just something unusual about it. Maybe Johnson is just the next controlled op rolling out damage control with a new rapper, because it's a lot easier to blame economic tension than admit the same intelligence agencies running the blackmailing rings, working for Israel, and trafficking kids are the ones fueling this same conflict between India and Pakistan. Do you not see how it works here? And now they're trying desperately to trigger a global conflict. So ask yourself, if these agencies have this level of reach, why now? Who gave the green light? Did Pam Bondi make the call from Epstein's vault when the pressure got too hot? Quick, start a war with India and Pakistan. Everyone's attention is on me. That's what it sounds like, because when the entire global control grid starts to fracture and the public starts connecting the dots, the demons in control will distract you with anything to get your attention off it. Especially considering they own the media too. I mean, look at CNN. It's like a damn recruitment center for pedos over there, looking like the Vatican. And what better way to kill a scandal than with a war? And now we got the new pope. Apparently this is news. I don't know why. It doesn't matter at all who the next pope is, because as you see right here, I mean, this new pope is already all about vaccinating people. Isn't that funny? They're for the COVID vax. The last pope, this pope, all for the COVID vax. You would think God would tell them But no, they're saying Jesus wants you to get vaccinated. These are some sick non-stop distractions here. How weird is this? Because what triggered this India-Pakistan thing was a alleged terror attack in India by Pakistani jihadists. So they went to a local park, I believe. I know I'm butchering it, but they apparently slaughtered a lot of people. And there's a video of a guy, no joke, ziplining over it, smiling on camera as people were being slaughtered right underneath him. It just seems really weird and hoaxy. I mean, he was smiling the whole time at the camera. Why was he doing that? Usually when you're on a zip line, you will enjoy yourself and look around. This guy didn't even look around. There's people running underneath him, getting shot, dead. And he's just smiling at the camera. What kind of person does that? You're going to look at your phone the entire time? There's just something off about this. And they're saying this is what triggered this tension at the border, which is now seriously escalating. I mean, we have multiple explosions heard at Norcon Air Base of Pakistan now, headquarters of the Pakistan Army. Tit-for-tat action by India after Pakistan Army launched attack on India air bases and military stations. So it is escalating here. Some reports saying 10 to 20% chance of this becoming a major conflict. And how do we know it's all by design? Because guaranteed the politicians over here are going to use this as an excuse to bring more Indians over to Canada. Yeah, as if the beaches here don't have here in Canada, which also ties into the Century Initiative that Mark Carney and his BlackRock buddy Wiseman wanted to pull off here. They have an agenda to bring in 100 million people or so. So I wonder where they're going to come from. Can someone turn on the new Kanye song? I'll play it in the background right now while I'm talking. I think it's going to be well suited for this section right here. I mean, it's just nonstop distractions, like I said. There's a story right out of Colombia now. So many are talking about. And once again, you're like, right now though? So not only is a world war going to break out, nonstop distractions about India and Pakistan, about Prince Andrew being a pedo, and now we have aliens. The Colombian UFO metallic crash sphere. You heard that right. This thing was flying allegedly over Colombia, and many people got this on camera, which reminded me a few months ago, I believe, I was talking about a model, a Colombian model that was on a airplane, and she recorded a orb as well. So what the hell is going on over Colombia? Is the CIA testing advanced alien tech over there? Because this is some weird stuff. And now, here's the new story. People were recording a metallic orb flying over many cities in Colombia. And this wasn't some random orb pulled out of a dusty vault in Mexico City or unveiled with paper mache aliens on a courtroom table. Remember that one? Yeah, this was filmed by civilians, multiple angles, multiple witnesses, and the damn thing was picked up off the ground by a guy who now claims his fingerprints got erased and he couldn't stop puking for days after touching this thing. And now X-ray specialists are flying in to get their hands on this mystery orb. And they're not part of some shady government black op either. There's a lot of nerds going there with gear trying to figure out what the hell this thing is. A lot of independent researchers are going to go and find out if there's any truth behind this. Is this really a mystery orb here? And what they're finding is wild. A dense, seamless sphere with no welds and no propulsion system. Internal components arranged in a deliberate geometric pattern. Some kind of dark core, like it's either storing energy or souls. We don't know yet. I mean, it just says there's a dark core on the inside and they have no idea how it operates. It's cold on the outside, but really hot on the inside. They even poured water on it and it literally vaporized instantly. Yeah, totally normal metallic behavior right here. Now, some people are throwing out archaeological theories as to what this is. Maybe it's full of ancient ruins or relics, or it's a high-tech time capsule from a breakaway civilization past our known map. I don't even know. Others are comparing it to the Betz sphere, another infamous orb that supposedly moved on its own, made weird sounds, and also had a mysterious weight fluctuation, just like this one actually. But here's what is really interesting about this. This one